Good evening. A Lloydminster man arrested last week for drug possession has been sentenced to 4 years in prison after pleading guilty to multiple drug and firearm charges. Now, they stem from incidents from back in 2013 and 2014. 25-year-old Chad Lloyd Thorne was in court yesterday. Some of the 10 charges Thorne was sentenced to was possession of a controlled substance for the purpose of trafficking, possession of a firearm while prohibited, and failing to comply with release conditions. Well, with only 2 months to go until the Alberta Progressive Conservative Party votes for a new leader, the latest polls show that Jim Prentice has a solid lead over Thomas Lukaszuk and Rick McIver. And many provincial MLAs seem to agree, as Prentice has seen an increase of public support in the last weeks. And now you can add Vermilion Lloydminster MLA Richard Starke to that list. Barb Pediasic reports.
I've come to the decision that I'm going to be wholeheartedly supporting Jim Prentice in the upcoming PC leadership campaign.
After sitting down to meet with all three candidates, Richard Starke made his official announcement this week. He says while he appreciates Lukaszuk and McIver as candidates, he feels Prentice is the best choice as leader.
He has a very good grasp of the issues that are facing us in all parts of the province, rural and urban. And I like the way that he really listened to some of the concerns that I expressed and some of the advice that I had. According to a University of Alberta political scientist, Prentice has seen the most of the public support from other MLAs and cabinet ministers. He says Prentice's outsider appeal is what party members hope turns the polls to their favor again.
Prentice has the virtue of not being a member of the caucus, of not being an active member of the Provincial Conservative Party, having been outside the political fray for a period of time. Good gosh, you can't get much further from active politics than being a vice president of a bank.
But Jim Lightbody also suggests there may be more to the public support of Prentice than it seems, as leadership candidates have been known to have long memories when it comes to who supported them and who did not.
Anyone in the cabinet who backs the wrong guy will be out of the cabinet when the new guy takes over. That is either within 2 months or 6 months. It's not only survival of the party, but it's survival of your position in the ministry. That's a consideration for sure.
Now, it's too early to tell if a Jim Prentice-led PC party will win in the next provincial election, but Starke says he stands by his candidate.
I don't pay much attention to the polls at all. I pay attention to my constituents and what they're telling me, and I know that the vast majority that I've spoken to are also in favor of Jim Prentice as our next leader.
Bart Pediasic, Newcap News.
Residents of Cold Lake are getting closer to being able to fly straight out of their city. City Council received a letter from the Minister of Transport addressing the only roadblock they face. That's getting Canadian Air Transport Security Authority screening sorted out. Fraser Snowden has more.
Transport Canada is on board with eventually bringing commercial airlines to the Lakeland. However, in a letter from the Minister of Transport, Lisa Raitt, she says there will be a process.
And so we have to work with the Minister of Transport for a solution on funding. So what is it going to cost? What is it going to look like to have screened passenger service to a major city like Calgary or Edmonton?
Medley Airport on Fort Wayne would be the facility that can be used for commercial flights. Copeland believes having the option to fly out will benefit business in the city as well.
Doing business, we have developers that come in from Calgary, from Vancouver, kicking the tires in Cold Lake and Bonnyville. They're going to be able to come in, fly in for the day and fly out. And it's going to make everybody in business much better.
Now, the CATSA screening could take a while to figure out, but the city has a number of companies willing to help and a Canadian airline ready to jump on the opportunity. If pushed through, the unnamed airline will fly from Medley Airport to Calgary, where passengers can connect from there. Residents in the area are excited for a closer terminal for air travel.
Our travel is taking so much time to get into Calgary, Edmonton, and so on. So I think commercial flights is a way to go forward with Cold Lake.
Probably really good for all the oil workers up in Fort Mac.
Oh, that'd be great because I love to travel and I'm always going in and flying out of Edmonton. And I'm just an hour away from here. If I could come here, it'd be great.
It could be a lengthy process in getting the screening in place, but Copeland is hopeful things will take flight next year. In Cold Lake, Fraser Snowden, Newcap News.
Well, day 3 of the Colonial Days Fair continues, and there's some action-packed entertainment fairgoers can enjoy. That's from swinging axes to rolling on a log. It's more than just woodwork, as Anna Stanislaw tells us. More about the West Coast Lumberjacks.
It takes skill and practice to be able to chop wood like these lumberjacks.
20 and it's wiggling. 21 big hit.
Or throw an axe a few feet away.
And that is another bull.
Lumberjack Darren Dean, who is a professional forester by trade for almost 20 years, says they demonstrate what loggers used to do in the bush back in the day.
You do some tree climbing and log rolling, chopping, and it does take a fair bit of practice. It's not something you're just going to grab an axe from Canadian Tire and go out and be a lumberjack.
I even gave it a try, and let me tell you, it's a bit of a workout. And of course, we wouldn't leave without asking the question.
And how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I don't know how much wood a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. I have no idea.
I think the answer is a lot.
A lot.
I don't think we can quantify it. Depends on the woodchuck.
Whichever the answer, these lumberjacks say interacting with the audience and seeing them enjoy is the best part.
It's awesome to see them laugh and all that. It's pretty much the whole point, right? To have them enjoy the show.
I enjoyed it. I haven't seen them for quite a few years.
When they climbed up the stairs, it was really good.
Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.